No, I'm just messing with y'all. What's up, guys? What's everyone getting into tonight, huh? I see some people in the chat already on the theme of the night. Some Four Roses. So we have 6 or 7 of the recipes out here, and some Four Roses small batch select. So, that's always cool. So Erin's on her way, and I need a drink to start with. Steve, Terrence, Rebecca, Chip, Freddie, y'all in the chat. Oh, Steve was the first one. Hashtag pregame. Look at that. Can I? I can. Yeah, maybe. There you go. Can I do that? I'm just messing around while we're waiting on Erin. Ah, there we go. Haha, whoa. Right there. Steve, hashtag pregame. I guess I could have just done that, huh? That'd be way easier. Bloop, bloop. So, who in here is drinking Four Roses and who is not drinking Four Roses? Jason G. Elijah Craig, Toasted Oak did not arrive today. Oh, man. Dan from How Do You Whiskey. We do have, this isn't what I wanted. We do have the studio mostly up, but we don't have internet out there. I ordered a 300-foot Cat 7 cable to get out there. As soon as that arrives, I need to route it out the house, dig a trench to the garage, and then route it through the garage. And I ordered a Netgear Nighthawk router to put up there. And I'm going to put 4 jacks into the wall. All 4 from the router are going to the wall. So I have 4 Ethernet cables that I can plug in just to make sure we can get the bestest internet out there. So, yeah. So basically we're just waiting on that to get out there and get in. Who's this? OESK, one of my favorites. Ah, here we go. Here's a standard OBSV. We're going to start with that because I have no... So I was talking about this when I was on our last live, and I was looking for cheap bottles and realized I had no regular small batch Four Roses. I have no yellow label Four Roses. And I don't know how many... I know this is going to first world problems. I don't know how many Four Roses single barrels I have that are not store picks. So there's that. Ooh. Scotch Test Dummies glass. What's up? Y'all know Scotch Test Dummies. Scott and Bart. Good cork pop. Scott and Bart over there doing their thing. Good guys. Awesome channel. Corey. Robot Scott. Jason. Pete's home. He should go drunk. You should go drunk. Four Roses single barrel all night. Yeah. That's what we're talking about, Todd. So, this, like I said, this is just a regular 100 proof OBSV. It is from Charlie's. No clue where that's at. 7 year, 11 months. So right at 8 year. And some people would be put off by that. 8 to 10 year. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Who says 7? It's 7 years, 11 months. It's 12 years. It's 8 years. I know exactly how many Four Roses single barrel bottles I have that are not store picks. The number is 0. That's a good number, as long as the other number is higher than that. Is the recipe code only on store picks? Yes. If you don't have a store pick, they are all OBSV. OBSV is the most standard profile. And when I say standard, I mean like it's textbook bourbon. It's the most stable. It's well-rounded. It's the recipe you can always count on to do its thing and be good. So yeah, OBSV is your standard off-the-shelf Four Roses. You guys like my shirt tonight? That's actually false advertising. I haven't had a single drink today. I am lacking. 5 store picks. Good on you, Steve. There she is. Here's my lovely.
You're lovely. Huh?
My lovely. Nick AG. What's up, homie?
What do we got going on?
People are getting some Four Roses out and just doing some general Four Roses knowledge. You want to start with that one?
Why do I want to start with that one?
Because it's the lowest proof.
Okay. That is acceptable. That is the lowest proof? Really?
Yeah, it's 104.
No shit. Okay.
That is the
Freddie.
small batch select.
Hey, everybody.
Not the regular small batch. Regular small batch will be 90 proof.
That's what I was thinking, and I didn't look at the bottle.
And she has to put her leg on me.
Yep.
So one of the cool things you can do with newer people with Four Roses is an easy killer. If you have the easy killer, nice shooting, Tex. If you have the yellow label and the small batch and a single barrel, just regular off the shelf single barrel. For most people, I know Aaron and I included, especially Aaron, the 80 proof yellow label has a lot of ethanol burn to it. The small batch at 90 proof has a little bit, and usually the single barrel at 100 proof has much less. And it's a good way. I'm going to go ahead and move these out of your way.
I'm already crashing into things, so it's that night.
Hey,
Chip. Hey, Facebook user. Head on over to YouTube.
Yep.
So we know who you are. Or how many of them there are.
So, so that's just a good way to kind of introduce them to proof doesn't necessarily mean ethanol, burn, heat, ucky, gross, whatever.
In fact, the lower the proof, the more burn it's got.
Not true.
Oh, it's 100% true.
Shelby.
Aaron's cut off. Yeah. I haven't even started drinking. I haven't had anything today or yesterday.
Aaron and Shelby and Rebecca. You guys got the female representing tonight.
Hells yeah.
Who brought wood chimes?
I did. I made them with bottles.
Again, Facebook user. We don't know who you are, homie. Yeah, so regular OBSV is just, it's just good.
It is.
Like I said, it's your
Standard.
textbook standard. It is your textbook bourbon. It's caramel and brown sugar and vanilla and just, it's just good. Jason says both of our hair looks fabulous.
Thank you. It's a little purpley red right now. I had to get rid of the blue somehow.
So,
Inquisiting minds have to know who's trying to chat with us.
should we do the small batch select before we move on to the store picks? I like the burn of it. Tastes good, like 1792 full proof. Some ethanol burn isn't bad.
Two random people.
Some ethanol burn isn't bad, but it's not. For me, it's not fun when it's just all hot heat. Like
Jason has seen me at my worst too. Wheels.
Terrence says regular is great. I've gifted it in the past. Great introduction. Yeah, for sure. Wheels, Brandon.
I really have to say though, I need a single barrel. It really does need to be single barrel.
I will say,
or small batch select. I can deal with that.
The regular Four Roses small batch is one of my favorite mixing bourbons. It just goes with everything so well. Facebook comments don't come with a name.
Someone was being so kind. I actually checked it out. No, I checked it out, and it was two different people commenting. Hopefully, they're heading over to YouTube so that we can actually see them. I haven't seen anyone's name match up yet, but whoever the Facebook person that commented in that and was smarter than me, thank you so much.
Ruben, salud.
Hey, and you even put the link. Look at that. Someone is like a pro at Facebook.
You don't like the small batch? It goes really good in a mint julep. Man, does it go good. It's like drinking water. It's amazing. If you just want to get hammered,
it's a great mixer.
One of those copper mule.
That one hit me wrong.
Mule cups, just to the top, man.
That went straight to my nose. Sorry, guys.
Stella Steve. Thanks, Steve.
See, cheers on that. Thank you. I checked it out to see if it was the same person that wasn't understanding, but
Rebecca, you do need small batch select.
It's a great mixer. I really do like it as a mixer. It holds its own.
Mikey P's moving
Yellow
on
labels better than small batch? No, sir.
No.
I am so sorry. That is vetoed. Actually, I should say you're entitled to your opinion, but it may be wrong.
You know what? I think I brought.
What?
Some people in the chat are probably going to hate me. And I did. So this is all 10 recipes.
Oh, you brought our 10 recipe bottle.
Yep. So this is all 10 recipes. This is our own yellow label.
I haven't had this in forever. And
this is our own barrel strength yellow label.
But it's barrel strength. That's the problem with yellow label. It needs to, don't water it down.
Steve, we know you got us covered.
Mixing to me is like adding ketchup to steak. Hey, Rebecca, true story. My son just put ketchup all over his steak tonight.
Yep.
Kyle tried to get him to use barbecue sauce, and he's like, no, it's got to be ketchup.
I don't get me wrong. A good steak needs nothing.
Salt and pepper.
I always, start questioning myself butter. When, olive oil, salt, pepper. That's it. That's all my steaks usually get.
Olive oil. Sometimes.
Yeah, olive oil, salt, pepper. That's what I said.
I didn't hear the olive oil.
And then finish off with some butter.
Mm-hmm.
Your taste bud. Yep. Todd, fair. Yeah,
I missed the my taste bud. See, I need to keep reading. So cheers on that. I'm the bitch. Didn't mean to do that to you.
Hammered, what's that? It's when you're slightly inebriated, Freddie.
Hammered's when you can't control what comes out of your mouth and remember it all the next day.
What's the proof on that barrel? That is a good question. Are you talking about the blend? Because I happen to have a hydrometer right here.
Blasphemy.
Or not a hydrometer, but a refractometer. Anyway, we can find out. Let's find out, shall we? We should find out. Butter and rosemary, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's the good stuff. But I like putting rosemary, oregano, some paprika,
in a compound butter.
Yeah.
Or make a compound butter, I should say.
Yep. I'm super excited to see this too. Now, I have never looked in one of those thingies.
No?
No. You got Kyle keeps all the gadgets to himself. Does it actually have a label of the proof?
It's right at 10.
Kenneth, we are discussing the finer points of whether yellow label is good. At what? See, 112 is good. How do you know? Oh, it's got a little liney thingy on it.
It does got a little liney thingy on it.
That's cool.
I wonder if the camera would pick that up.
I don't know.
So everyone can see it. Let me see. I'm going to try and show you guys.
112, Sunshine. You're almost to 120. I would say you're at 118-ish.
No, it's not that high.
118, 116.
Let's see if you guys can.
No, they see black. That's not cool.
Bear with me. So there's that.
They're not going to see there. Oh, wait, hold up. You may actually, no. So what happens when
it's so close.
You're not going to get it. There's not enough light for one. Okay, no one wants to stare at this any longer.
Anyway, it's got a graph with
I never looked inside one before, but it's just under 120. It's definitely higher than 112. It's definitely lower than 120. It's somewhere.
It gives you ABV, and it's just wherever the ABV is, there's a dark line above it and white line below it. That's it. If Jim is in here, Jim Tysak, he could probably go into more depth on it.
Cheers on that. You got to do it that way, Nick. Nick's got a glass of wine and a bourbon side by side.
That sounds like Erin after she's been drinking.
I will be switching over, I'm sure, at some point to wine. That's the way to do it. And if you really get in a jam, make sure you grab a beer too, so that way you have all three sitting there just waiting for you.
This is how we do it.
I did that last Sunday. I was drinking bourbon and Sex on the Beach and a beer and a glass of wine and a little bit of everything else.
Well, this barrel strength, this one is one I blended that has all 10 recipes.
That is our single barrel
So it is my own
mixed
yellow label.
blend. I can't call it an infinity bottle because it's not, but it's a blend.
James says pour another. You guys never answer me. Are we doing small batch select or store picks next? I needs to knows. And
And
scotch.
what rest?
No. Especially if it's a peated scotch. That's a hard
I
pass.
can't do a peated scotch, but I did run around at Bastard's Ball drinking quite a bit of scotch, actually. So, yeah, I could totally do that. As long as you have wine to chase it. Because sometimes when you get that peat, you gotta get that out of your mouth fast.
That's what she said. Small batch select. I could probably do that. All right, I'm finishing off this regular basic bitch shelf store pick. 4 Roses 100 proof. It is not a single barrel. It is all 10 barrels. Very true.
Story.
Very true. It is 10 barrels.
What? I can't even get this open.
I know. I was expecting it to be a good cork pop.
It was not. It failed me.
So.
Ooh, 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer. But you need to drink them. You need to have the bourbon, then the beer, then the scotch, then the bourbon, then the beer, then the scotch.
That's a country song. So this is 4 Roses Small Batch Select. And this is, I believe,
drink anything that anyone puts in front of me.
6 recipes instead of 4.
We can find out if I'll drink it or not, or what I think.
Yeah. 6 recipes instead of 4, and it is 104 proof, non-chill filtered.
Did I like them, Steve? Because I don't remember. Like, I think I tried over 200 bottles in a matter of like 2.5 days.
See, this is something all whiskey needs on it. Sediment from the barrel may be present in this non-chill filtered bourbon.
Hell yeah. Like, that's a good thing. Right? It's kind of like the yeast at the bottom of the glass. Like when you pour a beer, and if it's got yeast at the bottom, you have got something good. Blue Song Blasphemy. There's someone else is talking.
1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer blues song. I thought it was a country song. I could be wrong. I've been wrong once before. I thought I was wrong, but I wasn't. So I was wrong about being wrong. Yeah, I was wrong about being wrong.
You're such an ass.
I know. That's why you left me.
Yes, you liked everything that I poured you. Okay, that's awesome. Because like after drinking a bunch, I don't know what I remember drinking and what I don't remember drinking because I don't remember any of it. I mean, like picking out each flavor, but I'll tell you exactly what I think of it at the time. So that's cool. It doesn't surprise me that I like scotch.
Obtainium. I freaking want one of those bottles if you can get
Polish rye finish in a port wine barrel.
Polish rye.
Oh, Polish, not polish.
Yeah.
It's spelled the same.
George Thorogood. Thanks, Chip.
I would love to try that.
John Lee Hooker.
What?
Okay, so was this like was 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer? Was this like a redo?
It's a half a lump. It's a half a lump all over again.
It wasn't a huffalump. It was a.
It wasn't a huffalump. Huffalumps are the pink ones. It was a snuffleupagus.
Snuffleupagus. There you go.
Huffalump, snuffleupagus. They're both elephants. One's just pink.
All right. So the small batch select. Spicy on the nose.
Mm-hmm. Spicy on the mouth too. Not as spicy like an ethanol spicy, but like a cinnamony. Maybe that's why I don't like this one very much.
I don't get a lot of cinnamon, but it does get like a lot of like clove, like that baking spicy.
This is straight up a Red Hot.
No. Yeah. Do you not remember December 17th?
I do. No, that was Red Hots with vanilla. You can't mix those two together. That's a nasty ass combination. This is just like a hint of a Red Hot, like you put it in your mouth and spit it out.
On GP. What's GP?
I don't do acronyms really good. Hashtag Snuffleupagus 2020. Hell yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Hooker's version is better.
What?
So get a fair amount of mint.
Where did that come from?
I do love mint.
What? You were reading a comment.
Comments.
I was like, what? I didn't read that part.
General principles.
You're just
I'm lost.
Kyle's picking out the most random.
Well, no, I was talking to Steve. What is the most special or rare bottle of 4 Roses you've ever had? The coveted bottle. That, without question, would be the 4 Roses Al Young 50th anniversary.
I don't think I got that one. I don't think you let me taste that one. I don't know where that one is, Kyle. He's holding out on me. I swear to God. Is it at your office?
Did you guys see this really awesome cabinet behind me? This cabinet is like primo, right? Am I right? Like, wow. That is a great cabinet.
So how many bottles do we have in the house, Kyle?
In the house? Well, I guess most of them are in the house now. Between 700 and 800. I don't know. Somewhere in there.
Steven wants to ban Chip for referring to John Lee Hooker as him too. Regarding when Bourbon was out. I haven't even heard the song, and we can't even play it right now because then we get in trouble with everybody. So I'll have to play it later.
So,
that is not a bottle that has ever had alcohol.
This is a 1 gallon Four Roses.
I think you need to fill that fucker up, and then can we curse this far early into the show?
It's too late now.
Too late now. I've seen the bottle at the house. Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever had it, Corey, but I think we should fill it up and bring it with us to the meetup, just because we can.
Okay.
We need to fill it with like OVSV, so that way it's like around.
Club store carries the obtainium bottles. Oh. Sweet.
So where is the Al Young bottle, sir?
What Al Young bottle? I just said I tasted it. I didn't say I have one.
Corey said he saw it in the house. Wrong answer.
It is in the special box. I have a special box. Did you know I had a special box?
No, but I'm going to go through all the boxes now.
Good luck. S&G.
Isn't that Trey?
It is Trey. What's up, Home Slice?
We're drinking Four Roses. And I'm going to have to slit Kyle's throat for hiding the Al Young 50th bourbon bottle.
In my defense, it's not open.
So how did you drink it?
Because I got
osmosis?
No, I got to try it.
Oh, and you didn't share?
I was in Atlanta at the time, so you weren't there. You were literally in a different state. I did not cheat on you.
We're going to play zip codes? Zip
right.
codes or area codes, because that could get tricky.
This was totally different state. Okay, this not even like no question about it. I did not cheat. Okay.
Someone's going to win today thinking that we're going to be serious about all this.
A camera turn on and off real quick. I hope not. That'd be bad.
Oh, wait, hold on.
That's the mic over there.
This is the mic?
That's the mic.
Oh, Kyle made sure to keep the camera. Now, if the sound goes, it's totally my fault.
I do that on purpose.
Because you're smart. I've already slammed about 6 bottles together, so, there's that. So, yeah, I could
Trey's back in Arizona. I would love to be back in Arizona. The sunsets, second to none. Saying it, calling it.
I just told someone that today, that I wanted to go back to Arizona. So.
Did you? Small batch select or 1792 full proof? Small batch select first, then 1792 full proof. Why not both?
I would do it in that order too, because the small batch select is it's not my favorite.
Get the hell out of here. You're done.
Okay, bye.
No! You're much cuter. They like looking at your face a lot more than mine, I promise you.
You're more facts.
You almost said fat. She called me fat. Did you hear that?
You are on a roll tonight, sir. You are really on a roll. What happens in Georgia stays in Georgia. No, that's Vegas.
John Cran's light whiskey. What did I miss? John, what are you drinking, buddy? So, all right. I am going to...
It tastes red hots. I get red hots on this.
Tier 3.
Hey, Facebook user, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Tier 2.
You know what I'm going to say? Head on over to YouTube, because I say it every night.
Tier 3. Tier 1. Haha.
What's the tier? Wait, what?
All right, so those of you that don't know, gonna learn you something. Those of you that do know, refresher course.
Yep.
So you have the ABV.
There you go.
Okay. And then QN, that is warehouse Q, north side.
Yep.
And this does work on your standard on the shelf Four Roses also.
We have one.
It's
OBSV. Yeah. There you go.
And this is basically they just preprint the 100 proof because there's no point in writing it because they're all 100 proof. But they're all handwritten.
And they tell you where the warehouse, what warehouse and what side of the building it's on, along with what barrel it is and what level it's on.
Right. And I'm going to take it a step further and decode it. So QN, warehouse Q, north side. 77 is the rack number. That is what rack, basically from the door in each way, and it goes around. 1W, that is the first tier. All Four Roses warehouses are only 6 tiers high. They're all single-story warehouses. 6 tiers, so 6 barrels high. That's it. So 1 would be the first floor or first
rack.
First rack. And then W, that is probably actually one of the
they
last
go
barrels.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G all the way through.
Yep. So W is going to be pretty much at near the end of the rack, which should be neck because it starts from the inside of the building and works their way out.
What is 77? What is the number in the beginning? Because I'm
77.
I missed that part.
Pay attention in class and stop talking to your friends. Okay. That's the rack number.
Yeah, I knew that.
So 77th rack, first tier, barrel W. Like Aaron said, A, B, C, D, E, F.
I knew the barrel numbers were labeled by letter, but I forgot.
TN 1410, not 10. So warehouse T, north side, 14th rack, first tier.
And it's not 0, it's an O.
Barrel O.
Oh, it's not a number. So yeah, that was your bad, not his bad. That was you. That was all
Did I say 0?
You said 0. 0, and then you corrected him and said it was an
1 O. Yeah. So I prefer the lower tiers. People on secondary and stuff go crazy over the like tier 5, tier 6 stuff.
They also have a certain warehouse number that they absolutely love.
That changes by the year.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that would kind of make sense in some ways.
So it depends on what's coming out that year and where the good barrels are coming out of. Like I said, I prefer the lower tiers usually. So they're
higher in alcohol.
Four Roses, well, they're lower. Lower tier is lower in alcohol. Higher tier is higher in alcohol.
Huh. Well, that would make sense because it evaporates less or more water. So yeah, that works. But they're more flavorful.
Yeah, so the lower tier, like I said, gets lower in proof. They go in at 120. This, for example, is 52.8. So it's just over 100 proof. So what, 103 basically. And I like the lower tiers better. I really do. There's some great tier 6s, don't get me wrong, but
that would be 105.6, Kyle.
Right, which is almost 106.
Okay, I'm not hearing things correctly then. I'm out of it tonight. I'm always out of it. So yeah.
I trade access to small batch select to just get one single barrel store pick. I
would.
They're pretty freaking delicious.
They really are. I don't know if I've had a bad store pick of Four Roses. I've had some bad store picks of almost everything else at some point in time.
I've had 1 or 2 that I wasn't fans of, but other people were.
And you could understand it. If it's not in your wheelhouse, it's not in your wheelhouse. I mean, but yeah.
So on the side of the bottle is the store label. This is from Lincoln Road, OBSK, distilled on October 10th, 2007.
Kenneth, that is tragic. Kenneth says he's never seen one.
There are definitely states in the country that do not get.
That makes me want to cry.
Or they get very little.
They're really good. And there's 10 recipes. So certain recipes are known for certain flavors. There's the 2 recipes. And
2 mash bills and 5 yeast strain.
Yes. Recipe mash bill. I'm glad that you like small batch select. It's really drinking cinnamony tonight, and it's not my thing.
So go ahead and keep talking.
Kyle is now reading comments off of Facebook so that he can figure something out. I'm not quite sure. And it looks like it's in Chinese. So
it is not in Chinese.
Kyle's reading different languages. What are we talking about as far as codes? Okay, so we're talking about, Rebecca, we're talking about the label right here. So every Four Roses label is going to have like a series of like coding, if I can figure out which way to turn the damn thing. There you go. So that is going to be warehouse Q in the north side. It is on rack number 77. It's on the first floor, and it is barrel number W. So you can actually pinpoint what barrel, where, and everything it came from.
Is there a default recipe? Yes. It is OBSV.
And there is and that is the non-store pick. But there are store picks of OBSV as well. So
which are one of my favorite.
OBSV is tried and true. It is standard.
OBSV and OESK are two of my absolute favorites.
What's your favorite bottled and bond? I don't know. All of them.
JW Dant is really good.
That is a good one.
Evan Williams is just a great standby.
I don't know.
Dram Man, we will excuse your drunken tardiness.
Always excuse it. Drunken is always an excuse, and it's a good one.
Todd, if you can get it, the new Dickel Bottle and Bond is really good, as long as you don't have an aversion to Dickel.
I didn't think it tasted too vitamin-y either.
I
thought it was really good. Heaven is the Heaven Hill White? I know it's hard. You can't get it anymore, but isn't the Heaven Hill White Label? Was that a bottle of mine?
That was, yeah.
The Heaven Hill White Label was one of my favorites. You can't buy it anymore, but there's that.
It was an OESK. Nice, Kenneth.
So
anyway, Todd, to you, sir. Cheers.
Let's get this one done because I'm not a fan tonight.
Single barrel proof and store pick. In Colorado. One of your top fives.
What is Dickel Bottle and Bond at the distillery, Kyle?
Ooh, this OBSK is minty. It's about $40 at the distillery.
Okay. So Steve, you're paying pretty much retail.
Chad and Sarah did put up a video, and as I remember it, they really liked it. As well they should.
It was good.
The Dickel, the new one is fall of 2008. So make sure that it says 2008 on the side of the tag. If you're
really, well, that would make sense. Oh.
Well, the new batch is 11 years. The old one was 13.
How are our picks coming along? We got stickers. We're still waiting for new riff to be bottled. They are running on COVID procedures. So, as always, and I said that 30 minutes in, so we'll see if we get demonetized as that, because that's a thing now too. But they have to follow certain procedures, and they're running a little bit slower and a little bit more behind.
However, New Riff is still only running 30 days, which is way less time than most distilleries. So
I'm not going to cough any names there or say anything about that, about certain bottles we're still waiting on. So, I've
been on a pick before. We did a
year.
Yeah, it was close to it. It was like 9 months before we got bottles.
Nope, we're on a year.
Oh, that's different.
Oh, okay.
No, this was from Heaven Hill, but apparently they lost the barrel. Usually they run about 3 to 4 months, and they lost the barrel.
I just finished my antibiotics, Nick. I have not gone back to the Boston batch. I'm going to give it a couple more days, and then I'm going to try that one again, because that was highly disappointing, and I was not pleased.
Corey is on some OESQ.
We have an OESQ in front of us, I think. OESO. Wait, I thought OESQ. Corey, we will join you shortly. See? Got it. I wanted all 10 bottles, but we did not get all 10 bottles. Did you do that one?
Not yet. That's why it's still up.
Kyle, you're failing me, sir.
I know. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm super excited to do a new riff pick. That was absolutely amazing. The cool part, I thought, I don't know if they do it normally like this, but instead of rolling out 3 or 4, well, we got samples of 3 barrels, but we got a sheet with, I would say, about
10.
Was it only 10?
It was 10.
Okay. Well,
10 or 12, but yeah.
And they had notes of what they got on it, and then we could pick 3 to taste, which was kind of cool because we had a consensus and we took a poll and figured out what flavors were with it. So
yeah, and the Mattingly we have in, we got the stickers in, they're on the bottles. Any of you guys that got Mattingly bottles, if you want it before your new riff and you don't mind chipping in a little bit of, for chipping, I will be happy to get it out to you before the new riff comes in right away.
So Steve A wanted to know OESQ. It is out of Benny's. It was barreled on April 8th, 2009, bottled in 2019. And it's a 10-year, 2-month, and we will be popping the top on this one shortly. I'm going to finish this. Kyle can get into that. I can't yet. I'm doing an OBSK out of Lincoln Road. Lincoln Road has some amazing picks when we went through for NOLA the year before last.
They had some amazing picks.
That's what I said.
He still does
amazing picks all the way around, but I hear they're getting harder and harder to find those.
The word got out.
Well, every single state, I think every single YouTube channel is talking Lincoln Road and Elixir. So
OBSF 10-year 4-month yesterday. Nice, man. Todd, no, we are not in Kentucky. We are in Tennessee. We are right next to Jack Daniels, actually.
Shay J, I believe every single one of our new riffs is picked at the moment, and there is a waiting list. Last I heard, yes.
Yes. Patreon members do get first dibs, and then it goes out to the nation on Bourbon Blind Nation on Facebook, and you're obviously on Facebook, so you are in the nation, in said nation. How would you go about a pick? What would you be looking for? What distiller's recipe proof?
It's all blind, which is kind of cool. You know the distiller. Oh, you mean like what picks would we want to go on? Any of them, except for maybe Buffalo Trace, because I don't like cherry cola.
At the top of my list is Four Roses and Wild Turkey. Those are at the top of my list.
Well, you've been on so many too. I would like to go to Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill was awesome. Buffalo Trace sucked.
I went to there. I didn't get to drink any.
It didn't suck, but it was very corporate. It's the Disneyland of bourbon.
Hey, taking my terms now.
It's
really,
it's fitting.
It works. You go in there, and Pompeii is absolutely awesome to go tour it. But Four Roses, we haven't done a pick there, but I've spent many a night in their parking lot. John Will Hoyt. I can never pronounce your last name. I am so sorry. I've butchered it numerous times. So, cheers on that.
All right. You're getting, I only have it a little bit, so you're getting whatever I pour next. John.
It is dilly.
Can't wait till October 2nd for the beginning of the Bourbon Blind Nation awesomeness. And it is going to be an epic weekend, sir. I hope so.
What's the cherry cola meant for?
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace tastes like cherry cola. I mean, if you love that flavor, by all means, you're going to love almost anything out of that distillery. It permeates through everything.
And it's so delicious.
So, not my wheelhouse. Bananas is my second, not my wheelhouse. But cherries, cherry cola especially, but cherries nonetheless are not my wheelhouse. So, Russell's taste like cherry cola. Really? That's interesting. I do not get cherry cola on Russell's, but
Russell's stuff does have a lot of varying flavors.
They do. Russell's is a little bit overall.
John, cheers to you, sir.
I already drank mine, so there's that.
Earlier, Trey asked us, what is our highest proof in the house?
151.
No.
Flight Risk is not the highest, or is it the gin?
See, the gin is like 157,
and it's really good.
The Flight Risk is 147. We do have a rye from barrel, single barrel. That's one.
That one is a good one too.
Is like 151, something like that. Rye. So,
all of you're hitting all the good stuff.
There's a few in here in the house that are.
I don't know
more
what
than
you're
a little bit of
about. Proof. It drinks a lot smoother than some of these.
I like cherry vanilla Coke distilled and dumped into a barrel. The Russells? Wow.
On the Boston's batch, that may be why I didn't like it. I couldn't pinpoint a reason why I didn't like it, but I really was not feeling the Boston's batch. So I wanted to revisit when I wasn't on antibiotics. I've been picking up weird flavors on everything. I just got off of them, thank God. I'm hoping I don't have to go back on them.
Mandy is a rock star. I'm trying to get her to let us to do a Four Roses barrel pick.
We've talked with her a couple times. She is really sweet.
Yeah, as far as distilleries and stuff, honestly, right now, everyone is doing barrel picks. It is not easy to get barrels. They're pretty much allocated from virtually everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So just getting in there and
getting your foot in the doors.
And see, here's the door. Like a lot of distilleries, they do 2, maybe 3 barrel picks a day. So, across the store, there's thousands and thousands of stores that want barrels, and they can only do 2, like I said, maybe some distilleries 3 barrel picks a day.
So we're looking at,
and you're looking at basically 350, 700 barrels if they're doing 2 a day. If they're doing it, close to 7 days a week. So
yeah, 712 to be exact. It's not a lot of barrels.
It's not a lot of barrels.
It really isn't.
So.
And Lord help us when the ones that pick a bad barrel, because there have been some bad barrel picks.
Yeah, for sure.
There's really been some bad ones, but.
So this is the OESQ 10-year 2-month out of Benny's.
I have not had that one yet.
You have not.
I'm working on it. So.
Do the math, people. How many bottles out of a barrel? That
depends on the barrel. Some are short barrels and some are regular. Typically,
if they're doing it at barrel proof, if it's a short barrel, I've seen barrels as low as like 32 bottles in the entire barrel. A lot of times you'll get 100 to 150. Sometimes if it's a younger barrel, like New Riff, you can get closer to 220, 240. So,
hey, Facebook user, we will be in touch. I don't know who you are at the moment. When we're done with this,
I will find out.
We'll go back onto Facebook and find out who you are. If you would like to let your name be known on to the forces.
We'll just go on Facebook.
I was going to say hop on over so we don't have to call them Facebook user and get you mixed up with other Facebook users.
So this is more earthy.
What am I drinking right now? Because it's kind of dilly.
I got mint on that. It was the
K.
Yes, the OESK, which usually I don't get mint. I get more of a spiciness.
There's no spice on this.
So this is Mike.
Cheers. Hop on over to YouTube channel and we will see your name instead of being mixed up with everyone else. So we've got like 3 or 4 people on the Facebooks. The Book of Faces.
Mike.
Oh, hey.
I don't know if you've met Mike.
Not Mick.
No, not Mick. Mike. So
I know a couple Mikes. I know a lot of Mikes. It's kind of a common name.
It is. It is.
You talked to me about the sticker.
Knob Creek barrel proof. It was 138 bottles. That's about right. It's right in there.
Kay has that tongue tingle that usually goes for me. Okay.
Yeah, but this barrel is like abnormally minty.
Mm-hmm. I get dill, but dill and mint for some reason go hand in hand. I haven't figured out quite why. But when I usually say dill, Kyle says mint, and when I say mint, he says dill. So I mean, same flavor, different opinion. All right.
Different interpretations in the brain.
Right.
But you're on that same flavor profile path. You were behind.
I am. I'm slow. I really don't know.
Brendan had that.
Can I have my water?
Kentucky Spirit pick with 60 bottles.
Yikes. That's not much. Mm-mm. And when you're planning on having a bottle.
So when you buy a barrel, you're not actually buying the barrel. I mean, you get the barrel, right? But what you're doing is you're really buying every bottle in that barrel.
So if you're shorted, you get.
Yeah. So if there's only, like Brandon said, 60 bottles, you only buy 60 bottles in that barrel. That does not usually go for distilleries that are buying barrels for themselves, like through a third party sourced barrels. They're usually paying X amount of dollars per barrel. Sometimes that barrel has 45 gallons in it. Sometimes it's empty, and you just don't know.
That would be horrible to buy a barrel and it be empty.
Well, when you're buying 1,000 barrels at a time,
I guess they don't care.
Yeah, it's kind of
like the Mattingly thing. Like when we were tasting barrels, where some of the barrels were not that much. I mean, we were at the bottom of some of them.
Were like, yay.
I kept worrying that if maybe we liked it, like how are we going to get what we need out of it? But still.
Mike, I would love for you to call and not get shot down, but if you do, I would still give you props Dude, speaking of which, you're not far. You got to come down when we open up the studio and
It's
do our grand opening.
Kyle's gone this weekend, unfortunately. So there's that. Rebecca, yes, you do have, you don't buy it's like what Kyle was saying. You're not buying, you get the barrel, but you're buying how many bottles, how much juice fills those bottles. So if you have a short barrel, you're only going to pay for those 60 bottles or 100 bottles. If you have a big barrel and it's 200, 300 bottles, I mean 300 is like ridiculous number, it's not real, but you're going to buy all of those. So the amount of juice that fills those bottles is what you're paying for,
right? Because that's how they pay their taxes and everything, so they have to know
right,
how much,
because you got the angel's share and you got the devil's cut and you got all the rest of those.
Now distilleries like Jack Daniel's, they do a lot. And when they put out barrels, they know they're usually right about the same age, and they know they're usually very consistent. New Riff, same thing, because they're putting them out right at 4 years, 4.5 years. They know pretty much within, unless there's just a leaky barrel, usually within 6 or 10 bottles, they know how much is there. So
Kenneth says you're buying dibs to the juice in the barrel, and that is exactly right.
That's a good way to put it. Mike, I will definitely let you know. Some Old Scout Single Barrel Select, the Dickel product. Dickel!
Everybody likes Dickel.
Everybody loves a little Dickel in their mouth. Some people have an aversion to Dickel, and I don't, but
some people have some. Anywho, I'll try and keep my mind up in the gutter and not go below the gutter. We'll see how that goes.
So which one was this?
I don't know. Something
OESQ. Wait, that is what I just poured, right?
Yep. Because that's the one that Corey was drinking, so we gave it to you.
Okay.
It's like we have that on the table. That water tasted metallic. I think my taste buds are shot.
Your water tastes metallic.
It did. It totally tasted metallic.
Taste that Dickel good.
There you go.
Yeah, Steve said the Whiskey Tribe branded that. They bought 2 barrels of scotch, and one of them had a leak and was empty when they went to go put it in a tote. That's rough. See, like Nick. Nick can't stand Dickel juice.
Clink.
Cheers.
This has a lot of tingle. It's a tongue tingler. And it's oaky. And it's good. It's really good.
So Q is their...
I wasn't a fan of Old Tub.
Old Tub is fantastic.
I was not that big of a fan of it. I was kind of disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. What were you saying about Q? Sorry.
No, so you're not actually buying the barrel, Rebecca. Most distillers will give you the barrel for free if you want it. So yeah, you're only buying the bottles in said barrel. So, is a full toted new make. So for Four Roses, the Q yeast is, like I said, they have 5 different yeast strains, and the Q is it's a more neutral yeast, and it doesn't impart a lot of flavors, but it does amplify the flavors of the barrel. So whatever that physical barrel would, if it's a good barrel, it's going to amplify really good stuff. If it's a not great barrel, it's going to amplify not great stuff. So Q is more of like a wild card yeast. I will say my favorite barrel pick that I've had is a Q yeast. My least favorite Four Roses pick I've had was a Q yeast.
I've had that one. That one was not good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've had your favorite bottle. Is that the one that I bought you for Christmas one year?
It is.
Had to wave some magic wands and ask some people to
Chip.
Kyle just said what was his favorite. It was the
OBSV.
No. OBSV. You said it was an E.
And OESK.
That's the one I was looking for.
And either OBSO or OESO. O is really good too. But if I want something just straight up bourbon goodness, I'm going to go for a V yeast, the OBSV. If I'm going to go for more spiciness, I'm going for the OESK. So those are my two.
And we got dill tonight on it.
My two go-tos.
That would make sense.
But that was a BK, OBSK, I think. Wasn't it? I think it was.
I can't do this tonight with all the letters. I give up. Are you guys doing a season 3 coin? I think we will be doing one shortly. And especially
in the design going, but
I would love to do something in honor of our barrel picks. I have not gotten involved in the coinage yet, and I have too many sticks in the fire, and I'm trying not to let them burn. But I would love to get involved. The last two coins we made, Kyle designed and did an awesome job. And
thank you. I was wondering where you were going with that.
I just want to help. So, but I have some ideas.
So, hey, cheers to Chip.
Yep, totally. I'm going to finish this.
Yep.
Freddie, we've been talking a long time about doing all 10 picks. We have a bottle of every single one of them. I would love to get Brent Elliott on here and do all 10 with us. He's not far from us. I mean, he's up in Kentucky, but I would love to do that with him and maybe some other YouTubers. So
it was $80 high for Yippee-ki-yay. I think that's about average. Dude, Freddie, it is not easy to get all 10 recipes. I think you should definitely go for it and try.
Whoa. I have never heard that. I'm sorry, Rebecca. I just heard I just saw Rebecca's post. Rebecca says that she was told that you buy the juice in the barrel, but after said juice is bottled, you still have to pay X amount per bottle at the store, even after you've paid X amount of money for the juice.
Not usually. No.
Not usually, unless the store is really, really crooked, and then you never go to that store again because that is fucked up.
Right. So when we bought our New Riff barrel, we purchased it through the gift shop at New Riff. So we have to go up there and physically get all 40 cases or whatever, plus the barrel head. However, it was like $50 per bottle plus tax. That's it. Those bottles are ours. The barrel's ours, everything. Usually you have to go through a store, but even then, the store pays the distributor for X amount of bottles. And then you buy it from the store, but that's not the distillery is only selling those bottles one time. The distributor is selling them one time, the store is selling them one time. So yeah.
I can't imagine unless I totally misunderstood that. Aaron, your thoughts on finding a Booker's you didn't like? Hey, go check out The Nation of Me Gagging. I'm hoping to God it's antibiotics and it was a neck pour. So the Boston batch and I are not friends at the moment. I'm hoping that changes because that would be really, really, really sad if I found a Booker's I don't like. I don't like names as much as I like objects. I will say that. But I haven't found one I didn't like. So just ones I wouldn't want to pay as much. We're out of bourbon. No, we're not. We're not out of bourbon. I'm out of bourbon in my glass.
We got lots more bourbon.
Well, we only got 4 more bottles on the table.
So OESF.
We have not done this one yet.
This is a Lincoln Road 9-year, 1 month.
Hell no. Don't ever pay for the juice twice, Rebecca.
F, I get more floral on it. Yeah, you're not. Like I said, you're only buying the bottles, and that's a one-time
Unless you're
thing.
at a crooked mother, I could see it happening. Trust me. But yeah. Not so much, sunshine. That's a lot of liquid.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Have we tried the Maker's 46 cast strength or the 2020? I have not tried the finishing series, but we did try the Maker's 46 cast strength on our last live.
That was really good, if I remember correctly.
It was good. Nick AG, yes, we do need Granny's batch.
I would love a Granny's batch. I've heard good things about said Granny's batch. I've heard that it's better than the Boston, which is unusual as well, because usually the first batch is the one that's not the greatest of the series.
Pikesville is a fantastic rye. It's one of the best ryes for $50 or $60 you're going to find It's just fantastic.
Is this the OESF?
It is the OESF.
And this one is, again, out of Lincoln Road.
And this is also Jason's favorite recipe.
Is Jason still in the chat?
I don't know if he is or not, but he was.
He was. We saw him.
OESF is his. For me, F is usually a little more on the floral side.
Mm-hmm. F is for flowers in my book.
So it's good, especially if you like that floral. But
this one's meant vanilla.
Are all the recipes at 50%? No, only the OBSV off the shelf is 50%. Usually store picks are barrel proof. For instance, this one is 56.9%.
So we're looking at 113.8.
Yes.
Yep. Well, wait.
Yes.
6 plus 6. No. Is that 150?
No, you're right. So Warehouse K, East Side, Rack 56, Tier 3, Barrel Q.
We've had Michter's toasted barrel. Elijah Craig has a toasted barrel.
They do.
Do we have it?
Somewhere.
When we get it back up, and I love toasted barrels. I didn't realize how much science goes into these barrels. The vanilla notes that we get on a lot of stuff, that is because the actual chemical components come out of the wood when they toast it. And like, there's so much science, and they use like spectrometers and all sorts of cool stuff. I was really, really blown away with hearing about all the cool stuff.
It was one of the coolest things about bourbon I've ever seen.
I really wish I wasn't as toasted when we were there. I want to go to that one again. Elijah Craig T. What's a T? What's a T?
Toasted barrel.
Toasted barrel. Okay, thank you. I don't do acronyms. I'm really bad at those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Vanilla.
There
Caramel.
is. I'm really not getting a lot of floral.
No.
This one doesn't have a lot.
When we say, K is spicy and everything else, like that is a general statement.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rule of thumb. That is not a hard.
They're single barrels, so everything's going to be up in the air. F, I usually think is a lot floral. There's a little bit of hint of a floral on the back end or finish.
Like Aaron was saying, the barrel has a lot of flavors in it, and like the vanilla flavor in bourbon is actually coming from usually vanillin, which is the compound in vanilla that gives it its flavoring. And when they toast and char the barrels, you get that chemical compound vanillin. So if that barrel has more vanillin compound than normal, whatever juice goes into that barrel, as it comes out as a single barrel, it's going to be more vanilla.
Which is going to be awesome. And then, Corey, I have to ask, what is the proof on the Elijah Craig toasted barrel?
94.
Okay. So it's just a honey barrel. Okay. That would be interesting. I wonder if I'd get the burn on it or not. This has been a wild road of like good bourbon. It's standard. I mean, even the bad even the bad barrels of single barrel of Four Roses aren't bad.
No.
They're just, some are better than others.
So barrel char means vanilla. No,
it's what's the wood is producing. So when you char it, the chemical components come out of the wood and they can measure. It's called, is it lanolin? Is that what it was called?
What?
I can't even remember what the chemical component of vanillin. Vanillin. There we go. So on certain wood, when it's toasted, vanillin is created. So
it's one of the either hundreds or thousands of compounds that is in the wood.
And they actually have like really cool doodads and gadgets to measure what compounds that wood is putting out. So that
spectrometer.
I think it is. Yeah. And they can measure the amount of each of those components that are created from different parts of the country of the wood, different times a year, how toasted it was and how much water was in the wood. And like, it goes on and on and on of all the millions of factors that can happen when you grow a barrel and what part of the wood you used and whether there was a knot here or not there. I mean, it just.
And when they.
It goes on, and I like my nerddom and my geekdom was like right here, and I was like, oh.
And even though, like, there may not be certain components in the wood, when they toast it or they char it, they're literally creating those components.
Andrew, I'm not sure about that. I mean, if I had to pick a distillery that I could only drink from for the rest of my life, it'd be Four Roses, because you have such a wide range of flavors that you can get and you can still drink from, and like especially with the 10 recipes. But that's saying something. That's a very Elijah Craig and I always will have Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is always going to have a special place in my heart.
That's what she's talking about for you guys,
right? That was the first bourbon besides Four Roses that I actually liked. I was drinking red wine and I literally reached over into Kyle's Barrel Proof and I'm like, this is good. And I stopped drinking my wine and I drank the rest of his pour.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
And that's what started me on this journey. But I've always drank Four Roses. So and that's a hard one. I don't know if I could make that. I don't know if I could say that. Could you say that? That's a bold statement. I would agree with that, Corey. It is totally a beautiful mess.
They're just different. So,
Kyle's trying to.
I'm trying.
He's trying to come up with something to say. I can't. I mean,
no, they're both just freaking
phenomenal.
Amazing.
And well, I will say this:
if you can find Elijah Craig Barrel Proof at even close to retail, anywhere under $70. I know some people get it for like $50, which is ridiculously cheap. Anywhere even close to $70, even $80. There's not many better buys in bourbon at that price point. It's just for a slightly allocated item. I know I don't see many of them here in Tennessee. Some places get a lot of them, but yeah, for $70 for a 12-year-old barrel proof, that's hard to beat. It really is.
Tom, he really is. And I can't keep up with it. I am like, it's good. I drink it. I have no clue. I will say this in Andrew's defense. There is a Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that I literally would drain pour. I don't think I have anything out of Four Roses I would drain pour.
Rebecca says, flight results, 4th place, Joseph Magnus, 3rd place, 1792 Bottled in Bond. 2nd place, Old Tub. 1st place, Henry McKenna.
Knowing what you just said, I would agree with the list.
Thank you, Tom. I've forgotten a lot of stuff about bourbon also. Not to sound like toot my own horn or I'm the shit or whatever, but like I've probably forgotten.
Kyle can't tell you what he had for lunch yesterday. However, he can tell you the flavor notes of almost any bottle in the house. That's impressive for me because I can't do that. And I can tell you what I had for lunch 3 years ago.
I was going to say, I've probably forgot more about bourbon than most people will ever know. Not like bourbon geeks, because you guys are special and know. Yep. But like most people on the street, they couldn't tell you the difference between bourbon and scotch. But
that's scary. I could understand bourbon and whiskey, but bourbon and scotch, really? They're made in 2 different countries.
So my true story, Kay, I didn't tell you about this.
Oh, this is good.
My own mother calls me 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm on my way home, and she says, "Hey, I'm looking up recipes." Probably.
No, Jason just came back.
Oh,
keep going. You're talking about recipes.
She said we're talking about recipes. I have this recipe for an old fashioned that I want to make, and it's calling for a cherry bourbon. She said, what's a really good cherry bourbon? And I was like,
there isn't one.
Does she mean like flavors or, like 1920, you get a lot of cherry flavor on? Like
anything out of Buffalo Trace?
I was like, well, what do you mean cherry bourbon? She's like, well, it calls for cherry bourbon. I was like, there is no cherry. You can't have cherry bourbon. I said, you can't have flavored
bourbon. It's not a bourbon then. It's just a flavored. It's a bourbon that's been flavored.
It's just a whiskey at that point.
Right.
And yeah, so I had to explain to her that this is my own mother, okay? But I had to explain to her there is no flavoring allowed in bourbon.
But in her defense, she doesn't watch the show. She does drink multiple liquors and I at least she was calling you to double check her references and to get.
Well, she was calling for a bottle recommendation.
I would have told her anything out of Buffalo Trace and just ignore the cherry.
No, I told her
E.H. Taylor equals cherry bourbon.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. Anything out of Buffalo Trace.
Oh, they're having their own conversation. Yeah, so I forget what bottle I recommend. It may have been Four Roses small bat. Actually, I think it was because I have a bottle sitting at their house, and I was like, use that. And I think I have a single barrel. I said,
you also probably have some Luxor cherry sitting.
I said, use one of those. I don't, but I told her to order some Luxardo cherries. I told her to order me some too because I'm almost out. But yeah, I was like, get some of the Luxardo cherries and get a little bit of the cherry juice.
No, Andrew's being amazing right now because that's what Andrew does. Andrew, thank you. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Andrew's doing his thing. This is what Andrew does around everyone. So big hearts, like total big hearts.
Yeah, Andrew's cool people, good people. Traverse City Cherry Whiskey is close.
A question up here. There was a question from Andrew, and I wanted to say something about it, and it was.
I'll send you some.
No.
Far up.
Yeah. He was asking.
You're going way, way far up.
What do you drink more of? That's what it was. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proof or Four Roses. Lately, it's been Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. We've been.
So this whole thing started because in our chat, one of the guys mentioned, he was like, "Hey," I was like, "What are we drinking tonight?" And he's like, "Well, you haven't had Four Roses in forever, have you?" I was like, "No,
we've had them all boxed up because we're getting ready to move like a whole whopping 20 feet, but we're still." I have been. We've been trying to get this up and running for a hot second, and Kyle actually had most of our. I could turn and show you, and like we started picking through the boxes now too, so it's a hot mess. But we've got 3 thick and probably mostly 2 to 3 high of boxes of bourbon, and that was all because we started this last December, like talking about it seriously. We started building in December. We started or January. We started demoing. And we were assuming to be out in our shop by March or April. And now we were going into summer months and we're like, we don't want our bourbon to go bad. So it's back in the house. So these boxes have gone everywhere and they're not in any order at this point. So getting to certain bottles hasn't been the easiest. It's been a little bit crazy.
There's the random shelf that used to be organized. Now it's just back to a randomized.
Yeah, we emptied out most of our
one of those like
bourbon closet. I'm like looking at the closet right now. We had metal racks and it's now back full of bourbon. So Kyle's like, "Oh, my boxes, my shelves are empty. I need to go refill them." So I'll be
funny story about
interested on finding out.
I got this shelving rack, okay, because I was like, I need somewhere I can put my cases. I brought all the bottles out into the living room and I organized everything.
Here, I was out of town. He made sure to
obviously. And I went through them and I organized everything, cased them up, and tried to make sense of everything. I had a shelf for Four Roses. I had, shelf for this, blah, blah, blah. Everything was in. It
rose. I could find it.
Yeah.
It made it a lot easier to find bottles because it was a hot mess.
So I took all those, and when we were going to go out to the studio, I moved them all out to the garage, and I started realizing that the shelf was empty, and now it's full again, and there's cases here and bottles there.
But he hasn't been buying any bourbon. Shh, don't tell his wife.
Yeah,
he hasn't bought any bourbon whatsoever.
Don't tell her anything.
Don't tell his wife anything because there's also not bottles at your work that are like.
They're actually I took a lot of those home. A lot of those are taken home. A lot of those are in here now.
Don't tell his wife.
There's still several cases, but most of them are home now. Hey, I brought home.
There are several cases, not several bottles, several cases. That should tell you something. You brought home Elijah. You brought the
Elijah Craig that you wanted me to bring home, and you didn't like it. So,
yeah, it was.
Joke's on you.
Yeah, don't tell his wife.
My lips are sealed.
Definitely don't tell her after I count all the bottles. Don't tell her how much those cost.
I averaged it out. It's like $23 a bottle.
You're full of shit. Ooh, a strawberry milkshake. Hells yeah. And throw some bourbon. You know what? You could get, if you put bourbon on the whipped cream part of it, make a bourbon whipped cream.
Actually, yeah. Strawberry milkshake, good. Strawberry milk, not good.
No. Yeah, that would be amazing.
What's up, Bob?
Like, that said, I threw 4 roses in my infinity bottle. Yes, you should. Andrew. And I know it was to Andrew, but I'm going to interrupt.
So, OBSK.
What recipe did you throw in, Corey? Because we need to know this.
Lincoln Road OESO. And we didn't do an OESK, did we?
We did a K. We talked about it. I think there were 2 Ks. There was BF. No doubles. There were no. Here's the OBSK, and no, we have not, because this is OE and OB.
Yeah,
I want to do a side by side. Stop, because these are the 2 different mash bills. We have.
Speaking of which, this is from Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Big hearts. So we have an OBSK and an OESK, and there's also another 4 roses cool thing. The label. I can't ever do this. The label itself, the OBSK, the OB, or the OBSV, and all the rest, right. They all mean something. I don't know if I could pull this off right now. O is because it's all from the same distillery. The O
is the distillery, but
right.
Yes, they're all O.
All of them are O. And why am I blurry all of a sudden? We're both blurry. What's the camera focusing on?
I don't know.
Anywho, we'll deal with us being blurry. We're just drunk. So B or E is the different 2 different mash bills.
Probably for when you stuck it there.
There we go. That's better. S is because of, what is the S number?
Straight bourbon.
Straight bourbon. It's always the same, and that's where I was mixing.
O and S are always the same.
And then the last is the yeast strain. So even they really like acronyms. They really do, but they all mean something, which is really, really cool. So there's that.
All right, so we're doing side by side.
Yeah, let's do. So here, don't mind me. I'm just waving glasses in my left arm. Here, we'll do new riff. Can be one and blank can be another. Unless you. Oh wait, hold on.
I drank all the K. So
here we got clean.
Andrew, this better be a good barrel. If it's not, I'm blaming you.
It's all right. We'll forgive you because it can't be that bad. It's a
if you're talking to me, Andrew, I'm pretty sure it says California Food Mart, and I think it's new.
Yeah, it's not from my California.
Ready?
Oh, that was beautiful.
How long would you say an open bottle lasts for if stored in room temp? I have a hard time not opening new bottles, so the open ones many years.
As long as we don't have any that are low enough.
Grab that.
Well, this is about the same. They're both enough. Well, when you get down to about like this, you want to drink it within a matter of like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I'd say so. If it gets lower than that, you want to start drinking it quicker. Yeah. I usually nurse bottles until about the halfway point.
And then we kill them.
And then I start paying attention to them. Once they start getting about a third of the way down, they
need to die.
You got a few months and it's time
before
to go.
They turn to stank.
If your bottle's sitting like this, you could probably leave it like that for years. I would go through 2 or 3 times a year and just wet the cork.
Jason, your word usage. Wacky waving whiskey flailing YouTube woman. Or no, there's no YouTube in there.
Tube woman.
Tube woman. If I click it again, will it go away? Okay, there we go. Hey, I can't operate a computer.
He's talking about what's it called? Peter Griffin, Family Guy.
Did he say that?
Wacky waving inflatable arm man or whatever it was.
Say that 3 times fast.
They did.
I know they did in the show. I can't do it 3 times.
I've learned one valuable thing tonight. I need to acquire some store picks for roses. True story, bro. From California. Dude, California has shipping. Look online.
California, you can go all the way. So Kyle's favorite bottle came from California. I had to have someone magically make it appear in my house. But you have all the way from San Francisco all the way to Sandy or north of Redding, I guess would be the most highest. I don't know. There's more up there, but all the way down to San Diego, and they will ship entire statewide. So Definitely Google that shit and find what you need where you need it.
Yeah, so Four Roses, you can find them in California for sure.
Easy.
Yeah.
I Google it. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I literally, when Kyle was like, I don't have this recipe, I'm like, well, let's Google it and see where they're buying it out of. And I found one up in San Francisco, I think is where I had it. And they shipped it.
Corey brings up a good point. Most of this whiskey's been sitting in barrels for years, and barrels are not airtight by any means. Just don't let it hit sunlight. Yes, sunlight is bad for your whiskey. I try and keep mine away from heat generally, but definitely direct sunlight is a no-go. So, yeah.
Whiskey and sunlight's not pretty. Okay, so we need to do side-by-side.
I poured mine.
WTF, I thought we were going to share the glasses so that way we could keep them.
I thought we were going to share the glasses too, so I poured this one. What did you do with the other bottle?
Ooh.
Oh.
You took it from me because you said it was
I took it from you. That's why it was on your side. I took it from you. And
I will beat you.
You
heard it. Spousal abuse right here. All 5'2" of me. All right. So we have the OESK is in Scotch Chest Dummies, and the plain is the OBSK. And one is from Lincoln Road, and one is from California Food Mart. Don't know about California. It's hot. Okay.
Harry's, bro. Yeah.
It's hot. He says it's hot.
Fire. That's fire.
That's not hot.
No, fire.
It's on fire. Okay.
I'm on fire.
So, okay, in alcohol world, it's 65 degrees Fahrenheit, not 72. See, I didn't think about that part.
Any idea what Store Picks Elixir currently has? Elixir
not
currently,
a clue.
Last I heard, he had 37 different Store Picks on the shelf right now. Not all of those are bourbon, but
all of them are good. I can guarantee that. I have drank a lot of Store Picks out of that store, and they're absolutely amazing. Every single one of them. That's why my whiskey lives in my basement part. Yeah, ours is staying pretty close to 72. Out in our shop, it's a little cooler than that. We have our air conditioner.
It's 75 in the shop.
No, it's not. That's when it kicks on. But the concrete, because it's a concrete slab, and it's in shade, and the amount of insulation Kyle put in there, 75 does not feel like 75 in there.
No.
I don't think it's 75 because I die at 75.
That's the hottest it gets in there right now. I may kick it down to 72 later, especially during the winter, but
during the winter, it doesn't matter how cold it gets.
Well, during the winter, I may kick it to like 70.
Kick it down. Yeah. Might as well. Or just turn it off.
Well, it has a heater in it too. It's an air conditioning and heater.
You're just going to get a couch and move out there. I already know this. That's
not a terrible idea. I love you, but I mean, just saying. Oh, that smells amazing.
This one smells amazing. Whoa. That is night and day different. So the
E, you have the E in your hand right now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The Scotch Sesame, yes. The E is it's got more floral notes. It's got more vanilla. It's more sweet. That one's more oaky. It's still vanilla. And I don't want to say it's super oaky because usually when I talk of oak, I think of dark flavors and stuff. But it is literally night and day from these two, just with the two different mash bills. Come back here.
So
I wonder what barrel. I want to know what the barrels did to these.
The B yeast is 35% rye, and the E yeast is 20% rye, unless I have that backwards. Someone in the comments will let me know. Yeah, Lincoln Road puts it on there. I think it's at the bottom.
Mm-mm. One of them did have the percentages on it, though. I was reading it. 35% mash bill on
E is 20% rye. Yeah, so I was right.
We both said the same thing on two different mash bills. That is so cool. So the The B is more muted. There's not as much nosing to be done. It's a little more mild.
That could be much
to the barrel, right? And that's where I was going with this. I wish we had a couple more. I'd like to do 2 E's and 2 B's side by side of the same yeast, just to see what the barrel brings to it versus what it doesn't. But when we get all of our 4 roses, because Kyle has been collecting 4 roses for quite some time, it'll be fun to see what those differences are.
You definitely get more rye spice on the B.
Is that why it's not?
This smells more caramely, sweeter.
This is super sweet. Like this is more muted, but I should say the B is more muted, but it's more. I don't want to use the word spicy because by no means is there spice.
No, you get that rye essence though.
Right. This is total like caramely, fruity, maybe a little floral, but not much. But this is cool. I'm excited. All right, I'm going in on the B. This is B.
That's good.
I think I'm going to like that one better. This one's got a little bit of a spice on the end and not cinnamon. Not like the first one. It's more like a baking spice.
Freddie and Robot said that would be a hell of a
Good morning, Dane. Welcome to the show. What?
They said that would be a hell of a guest room.
Right now, you'd be sleeping in concrete, and it's pretty much still under construction. So it's a hell of a guest room right now. When Kyle gets his TV in there and the really cool chairs we're looking at.
I was looking at TV.
I'm probably going to go run out there and hide from the kids and read with my glass of wine and bourbon.
I'm going to get you one of those chairs that, like the hammocks that hang from the ceiling.
Don't want a hammock.
I want to read a book.
No. We were at a surplus store just looking around to see what they had. We
were
found
looking for flooring.
We really were, but there were some really cool shag carpets. But they had chairs that were like beanbag chairs. Thank you, Dane. You joined the party and you
cheers.
You cheer. I want to try. You fucking drink it all.
I didn't pour that much.
Rat bastard. See, not only does he hide bourbon from me, he drinks it all too.
I didn't pour that much.
Well, you know both of us are drinking it. Very floral. We got you. So tonight that is not Dane. There you go. I can't type at this point. Tonight's all about 4 roses, Dane. I don't know if you saw it.
It's on the title.
Cool. Anyone that has super chat us tonight, Kyle has yet to make the last week's, but we took a picture, so we have it. But he will go live and figure out on last week's who won and this week's who won. But yeah.
So the deal is anything we have on the table, you guys can choose to get a sample of. So you can get a sample.
Wow.
Your pick.
Like I can taste the sames and the differences.
So not saying you guys should donate, just saying that, for some of you people that can't get 4 Roses barrel proof, that would be a good time.
Oh, you are such a jerk. Don't even listen to him. You guys can enjoy us watching it drink it.
You know better.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that new riff pick. Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. Super fun. A 0 gravity chair. What does that mean, Scott? Like, what is this?
I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh, the corner chair. No, the one that I want is like, so beanbag used to, well, not being Lovesack made couches. It was like that. It fit into a corner and you could literally like plop down in it. And it was like amazing. Like I need like a couple of those in there. We haven't quite figured out what exactly is going, into the studio yet, but it's
Steve,
definitely.
We have a really nice air mattress and plenty of sleeping bags and
anyone that wants to come, anyone that wants to come drink our bourbon. Come to Tennessee.
Pull out that Al Young 50th on the table and watch my money rain.
I haven't even had it, Scott. But I have the coolest story ever. So I think for me, and it was the experience, and it was just a little thing. I mean, it wasn't really that big of a deal. But I'm going to have to say the William LaRue Weller, and I know it's out of my most favorite distillery, has to be the coolest story ever. You can't make that shit up. So I think that's my favorite bottle.
How similar do we think the store pick really are from store to store, state to state. Are the recipes consistent, respectively? Yes and no. There, like I said, there's rule of thumb, right? Like they put this tag on here, and I don't even agree with it 100%. But it says the 10 recipes of Four Roses. So like OBS. So of the B's, it says the V is delicate, fruity, spicy. K, rich in spiciness, full body. Q is floral, spicy, medium body. O, slightly fruity, spicy, medium body. And F, fruity, minty, spicy, full body. And like I said, it's more of a guideline than a hard rule.
Cheers, Scott.
State to state, store to store, it doesn't matter if they're from next door neighbor stores or in Tennessee and California, they're all coming from the same distillery. So
I don't think so.
Robot says in tribute to Al Young.
Yeah, I already drank for him. And I said cheers. There's some similarities, but then every barrel is going to be different. Like it's like twins. You got the same DNA. They came from the same place, but they ain't the same. I have a couple friends that are identical twins, and I joke about that they're clones. And then they surprise me because all of their tastes, all of their thoughts, all of their things they like are completely different. And I think that's kind of the same with our camera's going psycho. I think that's the same that you could say about barrels that, like, especially with Four Roses that are the same recipe completely down to.
Well, like I have.
It's the same DNA. Like you can see it, you can taste it, but at the same time, they both have their own personalities to them. If that makes any sense.
Well, like I've had sister barrels.
Oh, that would be fun.
They're distilled on the same day, barreled on the same day. They went into the rack house and they sat next to each other for the exact same amount of time, and they taste completely different.
They're twins, but in the same recipe, right?
This was out of like Wild Turkey, so
definitely the same recipe. And that's kind of what I mean. Yes, you can see the similarities. Yes, you can see the sameness, but at the same time, they've got a personality of their own, and that I really think that comes from the what am I trying to say? I think that comes to the barrels themselves putting the wild card factor into it.
Yeah. Now, that being said, as much as I say they were completely different, if you put them up next to,
something completely different,
Buffalo Trace or something,
you're going to totally pick it out.
You're going to be like, oh, these two are definitely turkey. So
that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Japanese single malt. That's a whole other ball game, but yes.
Ooh,
Chattanooga whiskey. Yes. Of the 1816. They have a bourbon or a beer finished bourbon that literally the carbonation went into the bottle with it. And that was kind of cool. I think that was one of my favorite finished.
So Freddie, like I said, they are fairly consistent. There is that general rule of thumb. Four Roses does try hard to be very consistent.
And they are.
Which is why they only use single story rick houses, because like Heaven Hill, Wild Turkey, they have like 8 floor warehouses, and what sits at the top of the warehouse and what sits at the bottom of the warehouse are very different. Where Four Roses is something that sits on the 6th tier at the highest part of the warehouse on the same floor as the 1st tier. The proof is usually pretty different, but for the most part,
it's like I want to say it's
consistent.
Like identical twins. Like when you look identical twins, yes, you're going to say that they look the exact same, but then when you get to know them, you're going to see all the differences. I find that with the bourbons, like when you have, like Kyle was talking about the sister barrels, when you have 2 barrels that were next to each other, same juice, same everything that go into the barrels the same, they're going to take on nuances that are very different from each other, that if you're drinking them side by side, you're going to pick them out. But yet when you throw in another bourbon, you're going to be like, oh, those two taste the same. Four Roses, when you get an OBSV, because that's like consistently the one that's the single barrel off. Thanks, Pete. Give me 20 seconds to stop chatting and running my mouth, and I will gladly drink. When you have especially OBSV, when you get the single barrel off the shelf, you're going to taste variations with that. Like some are a little bit more fruity, some are a little bit more vanilla, but you're talking about like, we're doing this number with it instead of like this numbers. Right. So,
if you had 5 different, I would even say you could get 5 different recipes of Four Roses
and find the 2 that are the same.
Well, I was going to say, and then throw in like a Knob Creek. That Knob Creek is going to be very
stand different. Out like a sore
until
thumb.
You put that Knob Creek in. Those 5 different recipes are going to taste really different. But when you throw in like a complete wild card, and
I would even go to say if you put 2 OBSVs in with the OEs, you're going to pick your OBs out, like your OBSVs together.
Probably, yeah.
But again, there are definitely nuances to each of them that is super cool, and I think that's really why I like Four Roses. If, like I said, if I had to, I think Elijah Craig Barrel Proof better than Four Roses. But if I had to drink one bourbon for the rest of my life and only stick to one distillery, it would be Four Roses, hands down, because of all the different recipes and the nuances of all of them.
So cheers to Pete.
On that.
Pete the Man McNeil.
You know, of all of our live streams lately, I think this has been my favorite because we're talking a lot of science. We're talking a lot of, if you have a chance to get down to the distillery, there's a lot of history even with the distillery. It is a Southwestern style distillery planted literally in Tennessee. And it makes...
You mean Kentucky?
Or Kentucky.
And when she says Kentucky, it's like backwoods. You got to take back roads to get there. It's not in a town or city.
No, it really, but you get all of the Southwestern feel of being, and it literally, that's what, if you wanted to, if you've never been to the Southwest, Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico, that sort of area, even into Texas, on the west side of Texas, the architecture and the feel of it is very much that feeling. And I was like, I'm home. I'm going to now go grab a bottle and I'm going to go sit in a corner and I'm going to go drink my bourbon and be really happy because I'm home.
Kenna said there's BB and Daddy to Pete. Pete says the small batch select worked its magic on his neighbors.
Neighbors just left the select.
Nice, man.
Now, was that a good thing or a bad thing? That's what my question is, because of all of the ones we drank tonight, that is my least favorite.
I really like it.
It's just drinks too damn... It's cinnamony.
It's not cinnamony.
It is. It tasted totally like sucking on a Red Hot.
No, it doesn't.
And Tom Bryan would like to get a piece of the action and figure out what one he would like to taste. So we'll add you to the list. I'm going to cheers you with the OBSK because it's more fruity.
I'm going to make sure I get your name in.
Hey, Moose.
Cheers to Tom. Moose.
You get to drink. You failed. Sorry, Moose. My King Cups days. I see Moose and I do this. I still won.
Moose.
It's already been done. Jim Beam has a lot of recipes. Jim Beam has a lot of the same. Well, kind of. I mean, is it the same recipe? Is it the same recipe?
I know a lot of them are the same. Heaven Hill has a lot of different recipes.
Is it all the same? They taste a lot different.
Buffalo Trace technically has 4.
And YouTube decided to load like 6 comments on us at once.
Cinnamon's a good note as long as it's a secondary. Yeah. I don't like Red Hot, but
I'm not. Again, another one that's not in my wheelhouse. Like, can we go after all of what is not in Aaron's wheelhouse? And I know I'm picky, and I'm really sorry. But I don't like bananas. I don't like cherries. I don't like cinnamon. I do like baking spices, and I do like vanilla, and I do like the oak, and I do like the leather, and I do like the red wine, and I do like all the rest of it. But those flavors, those 3 particularly, I think you nailed all 3 flavors I don't like. And that is, I just can't. I can't.
Okay. So you know why I think I like the OESK?
Okay.
You get the spiciness from the K. However, it has less rye flavors. So
I want to try it with another.
It's more balanced, I think.
These two, the OBSK is very muted and it's hot. I want to say hotter, but not hotter in the sense of
ethanol.
So you must be a big wild turkey fan then. I don't mind wild turkey. It's Buffalo Trace I can't stand. Wild turkey is okay in my book.
Kenneth says he gets a lot of cherry on wild turkey.
That's right. We had this conversation earlier.
We did.
Good night, Ribbon. New Riff is a cinnamon bomb. I don't get cinnamon on New Riff.
Especially not our barrel.
And I didn't get it on even our off the shelf one. These two bottles, back to Four Roses, the OESK was totally muted and a little bit more spicy. And I don't want to use spicy in the sense of ethanol burn or cinnamon, but more baking spices spicy. The that was the OBSK I was just talking about. The OESK was super fruity and super. So I'd like to get another barrel of it to compare because this one really was super fruity and super vanilla-y and caramel-y. Really and yeah, that was Andrew. Thank you. This was a totally awesome pick. And it is out of California Food Mart. And we are on Warehouse K on the west side. It is rack number 33. And it is the third tier. And it is the A barrel. So that's kind of cool. And it's running in at 117.6%.
Jason, yes, we are still live.
Yep. Kyle's going to have to pick me up and carry me off. You know how it goes.
Maybe some on Long Branch. I'm not a big... There's nothing technically wrong with Long Branch.
It makes good eggnog. It makes really good eggnog for people that don't drink bourbon. And yes, bourbon belongs in eggnog and you need to drink it hot. Christmas is coming. Can we do a live of eggnog? I want to drink eggnog the entire live.
You can drink eggnog.
Full of bourbon eggnog. Yes.
You can drink eggnog for 2 hours.
Ooh, that might be a little rich. No, I won't eat dinner. It'll be fine.
Long Branch, $25. That's good.
That's not a bad thing. But yeah, Long Branch is what I give to people who don't drink bourbon. And I love to put it in eggnog. Like, that was amazing. That was, I think, my favorite eggnog ever.
You know what? My palate's just about fried.
I still have
I'm trying to get between these two, and it's getting harder.
Is it? Because like I still have an antibiotic aftertaste thing going on. Have you guys had coquito means little something. I don't know. Freddie, help. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. What is it? No, I haven't. The cookie branch you talk about on Old Elk Taste. What?
Aaron doesn't watch our show.
I don't watch our show. I should probably go watch that one. Everyone's been telling me it was an amazing one. That was the one that went live earlier.
I was talking about as a secondary weekly thing, little mini series doing a cooking with bourbon.
Hells yeah! Can I play? I cook with bourbon all the time. Hard sauce needs to go on everything. And I just found out that there are people on this planet that don't put hard sauce on their rice pudding. Or it's rice pudding or bread pudding, and they don't put hard sauce on it. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, that's the best part. That's why you have the rice pudding and the bread pudding to put
butter, brown sugar, and bourbon.
Whiskey, but yeah.
3 Bs.
Bourbon is definitely one of it. But yeah. Puerto Rican version of eggnog.
I'd be down to try that.
I want to try that. Is conquito. How do you say that? I need to figure this out. I'll have to have
coquito.
Oh, coquito. Oh, thank you, Kenneth. Coquito. Well, ito means little, so I'm curious. But yes, we totally need to do cooking with bourbon.
Because I have a sneaking suspicion. This is what I was talking about on the episode. Like Jack and Coke goes really well together.
Yes. Right? And I actually will drink those because it doesn't have cherry in it.
Some bourbons do not go well with Coke.
Nope.
So like hard sauce, right? Like what bourbon goes really well with hard sauce? Because I have a feeling some are going to go better with it than others.
The sweeter ones and not the spicier ones.
Maybe.
I want to play this game.
The spicy may balance out the sweetness of the sauce.
I want to play this game. Can
you
we
get the
play
spicy,
this game?
the sweet, and the savory.
I am all about this game.
I want to get an induction burner and put it out in the studio.
And to call it eggnog is almost an insult. Okay, so is it like a custardy drink? Because eggnog, so my eggnog, you make basically a custard, except you make it until it's not cooked so thick, and then you beat up the egg whites, and then you pour your hot liquid of custard over your egg whites, and you add enough bourbon to like give it a hit. And you drink it hot.
Dane said Chad and Sarah did a bread pudding last year that was amazing. I may have to look that up and find it out. Their old-fashioned recipe is really good.
On point.
Yep.
I want to make my eggnog recipe. This is my grandmother's recipe for eggnog. And literally the recipe calls for, if you are, add bourbon to taste. And we're from New Orleans, so there is no don't add bourbon. It's add bourbon to taste. So if you are under the age of 12 or maybe even 13, you get like meh bourbon.
You're going to add two shots of vodka. Glug, 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 glug.
That's if you're over the age of 13. Because in New Orleans, there is no drinking laws. I'm going to say it again. As long as you don't have no glass on the streets. Can't have glass. And 2, you're not being the fool. They won't care. If you're with your parents, they'll serve you. If you're not asking for it, they'll serve you. I love New Orleans, and that's how I grew up with alcohol. There's never been a time where I haven't drunk, and it's not that big of a deal to me, so I don't overdrink either. My friends are like, we're going to a party, we're going to get drunk. I'm like, I'm driving. And they're like, you don't want to drink? And I'm like, someone needs to drive us home. So yeah, there's that. My question is, if it's the best eggnog ever, was it cold or was it hot? Because apparently this is a problem that people don't understand. There is a way to drink or eggnog. Skip the egg, skip the nog, and done. Moose, I've had numerous people tell me that, and then I made my eggnog. Yeah, Moose, I lost that one. So drink on that. I've had numerous people tell me that, and then I made mine, and everyone was like, really? This is not bad. And it's really made to be drunk and hot. So if you drank hot, drunk and hot. Drink. And where's my little man?
Should be drink hot, I think.
It is made to be drank hot. Yes, that's correct English. Anywho.
You weren't here 2 weeks ago when I did a live? No, when I was on a live.
No, I was kicked off your live because you wouldn't let me on, you jackass. No. Yes.
Someone said, oh, what was the word? I forget. It was amazing,
bourbon makes everything better, Kenneth.
No, you were reading or something. It was before you came on.
Oh, there was that. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a jackass.
No shit. Damn.
You wouldn't let me on the other night. I was a little pissed off.
The disrespect is for real. Okay.
Disrespect, because in the house, I need to respect you. Anywho, Chip says it's actually drunk, so neither one of us can speak English.
Okay.
Forget. Anywho, I was reading, and someone came on and said
it was a word like the literal
snuffleupagus.
No, it was before a snuffleupagus. I don't. Where was Jason? Is Jason would remember what it is?
If he's still on and sober. Ooh, cold. Don't drink eggnog cold. That is sacrilegious, and don't buy it at the grocery store. That's all I can say. Sacrilegious.
Aaron has to have hot eggnog.
Yes, it needs to be warm.
I will say I was skeptical at first. It's really good.
It is like drinking custard, and it is amazing. Tell me it's not amazing.
It is. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
No, Snuffleupagus 2020. Steve was here. What was the word that I completely butchered?
Snuffleupagus was one of them.
No, I completely butchered it, like to the nth degree. It was bad.
It's not ridiculous. It wasn't ridiculous.
No, I know how to read and spell ridiculous. That's what it was. Someone put in, it was the epitome.
Okay.
It was epitome. For whatever reason, I just have never seen or read the word epitome written out. And well, the couple times I did, I read it as epitome. So there's that.
That's okay, Kyle. You
It was like this huge light bulb moment. I was like,
you used to accuse me of making
that's
up
what
words.
that is.
So despite popular belief on this show and my word usage and everything else, I really do use 3 and 4 syllable words on a regular basis.
Ooh, 3 syllable words. Look at you.
Or maybe even 5 or 6, but whatever. And Kyle's like, that's not a real word. What was the word I used? And I had to actually prove to you was a real word.
There's been a couple of them.
It wasn't subconscious, but it was conscientious or something.
No,
I don't remember now. But he's like, that's not a word. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So I would have loved to have seen that. That would have made my day. I would have
but yeah, epitome.
I would have
epitome.
I probably, depending on how much bourbon I've had, I may have done the same mistake.
I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. That it was epitome. Freddie was there. He remembers. It was bad. So we have not had we did have the OBSV and the OBSK.
What's this one right here? OESO we have not had.
Oh, that's so hard to find though.
For science, as Kyle would say, for science.
You know how hard it is to find an OESO?
Hold on. Ready? Are we going to play this game?
And Lincoln Road.
Hold on.
Store.
I can't guarantee it's from Lincoln
OESO.
Road. This is how you want to know how Aaron finds bourbon? This is how Aaron finds. We need 4 roses.
We do need 4 bottles of OESO. You are correct.
Not a
oh,
0.
so anyway, someone was talking about
O-E-S-O.
collecting all 10 bottles. Freddie, maybe? Like I said, totally worthwhile cause.
Shopping.
And I had probably close to 60 bottles of 4 Roses barrel proof.
He did. He's not
store
lying.
picks before I gained all 10 recipes. Some of them are just easier to find than others. And that's just...
Yes, I'm 21.
No,
despite popular belief. Shush. Last time you said that, someone tried to rip up my ID.
That is not OESO.
No, it's for us a single barrel. Hold on. I'm going to get it.
I hate when spell check can't fix my spelling.
Yeah, that's a true problem. That's an awful problem. All right, I'll play this game in a couple of minutes because they're just trying to give me single barrels. So I need to go.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Anti-disestablishment.
Tarianism.
Wow. That's a word.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Sounds like something I would like to be a part of.
Anti-disestablishment. So it's pro-establishment.
Whoa, wait.
Establishmentarianism.
Hold on. Anti-disestablishment. Whoa, no, I'm not for that. That's a word and a half. Way to go, Chip. That's a mouthful, but we can read it. Isn't there supposed to be some
epitome?
Spaces?
Look at that. Epitome.
How did you pronounce that?
Epitome. It's epitome. See? You've never really seen it written out either, have you? See?
Apparently, I'm just as bad as you.
I told you. I was like, epitome. Cool. And I used it in the same context as epitome.
Okay. I was like, epitome. Okay.
Kenneth said the disestablishmentarianism said sounds like a punk trash metal album.
Yes.
Or thrash, not trash.
That's awesome. To be fair to Kyle, epitome is spelled the same.
Right?
Polish and Polish. It literally, I read Polish tonight. This is my world. This is sad. You can go online and find it that easy. 9 times out of 10,
Is the movement in the UK for an end to state sponsorship of the Church of England?
Well, yes and no. The Church of okay, if you want to go religion, I can go this way because the Church of England's actually Episcopal, and the Episcopal and the Church went to war, and there's a whole lot of things going on. So there may be something to that. But anywho, we're gonna go back to Bourbon and not go into religion. Tom, yes and no. So yes, it's that easy to find. Now, can you get it to ship to you?
And can you get it for close to retail?
That's the other one. Right
that's
now,
$105.
Right. And right now, I'm gonna have to I've got a ton tonight. I'm finding all the Four Roses single barrels. So normally I can go on and within about 15 minutes find what I'm looking for. Then the problem is making sure I can get it here, because it is illegal to ship alcohol except in, isn't it 15 states that have now joined the nation, nor joined the
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yes. So but there's only 15 states that have reciprocity across state lines. I think it's 15. Am I right? I know there's a bunch of them that will let you ship to other states with alcohol. They're trying to make it legal throughout the nation. Yes, capitalize the P and make it Polish. That would be awesome, except for the fact that I have friends that have companies and brand names that are now Polish. So yes. But shipping to certain states is really rough. So you have to get around that one.
Speaking of Polish, I had a buddy growing up that his last name was Polish. They have some
Wojciechowicz.
Vertiska. Vertiska is a good one. I think Wojciechowicz is better. If anyone can
No, you can't do this. Don't do that.
I want to say it, but
Spell Vertiska. Can anyone spell Vertiska? If you can spell Vertiska right, I will also throw in.
I don't want anyone to Google it. Is the problem?
I don't know if
who can spell Wojciechowicz.
I can spell Wojciechowicz. Vertiska is a good one too.
Wojciechowicz is better. Wojciechowicz. Spelling test right now. Do not Google this.
Well, I'm going to find
out. Google it and I find out, you're not getting a sample.
Spell Wojciechowicz. Fellow Coes. That's not it. Spell Wojciechowicz. I got bouquet, so we're good on that.
Freddie.
No.
Freddie, actually, no and no. Vertiska's close.
Still wrong. Spell Vertiska. Actually, Google actually spelt it right, so we're not playing this game anymore.
So, Wojciechowicz, though. Pete. Ooh, Pete.
Nope.
Pete's...
Nope. Oh, Pete's closer than the Whiskey Scout.
Pete has a critical letter. So I'm gonna give this a minute while I drink this Four Roses, and then I'll give you guys the answer.
You can't spell. You can't. There's so many. All I can say is Polish names don't have vowels. There's a thing. So, right, Freddie, you're almost there with Vertiska, but that's my. Or better yet, can you spell Ripburger?
Can I put that in there?
No, I don't care.
Wojciechowicz.
Say that again. Wojciechowicz.
Can I put this in there? Is that okay?
Yeah. I don't see why not. It's not my last name, and you can find anyone with that.
It's my buddy that.
Can I buy a J, Alex? Yes, Moose, you can totally buy a J. There is a J in there.
Had a Polish last name.
That's how you spell Vertiska, just so you know. And my sister's last name used to be that at one point, and she nope, you need a J. There is a J. Moose asked for a J.
There, I have it typed in.
No one's gonna get it.
Should I just go ahead and say it?
Yeah, there's no way in hell anyone's gonna get Wojciechowicz.
Wojtkiewicz.
Wojciechowicz. So yeah, there's that. So if you have a Polish last name,
I wish I was drunk, but that's actually how you spell it.
So my maiden name's not much better.
Freddie says nope.
Well, the greatest part about this is if you could spell the last name, with fake IDs and stuff, like back in the day, like when that was a thing, spelling a last name that was like Wojciechowicz or Vertiska or Ripburger, yeah, and you'd think Ripburger would be easy enough, but that's my maiden name, and it's not. It really isn't. Like, I didn't realize how hard it was to spell Ripburger before before.
R.I.P. is in Peter, B is in boy,
E-R-G is in girl, E-R. Only because you've heard me say it so many times.
100,000 times.
Only because nobody can spell it.
Alphabet fart. Moose.
I hate you.
I know. I love you too. So I just told significant other about cold versus hot eggnog. She said, we're in Florida. It's 80 something into early December.
But is it 80 degrees at like 11 o'clock at night?
In December.
Because even in
Southern Florida, it might be.
Even in Arizona, well, maybe in Florida because it's far enough south. But even in Arizona, it gets. Nope, that's Rich Burger, Freddie. T's. I get T's in my names and Z's and like V's, and I'm like, how on earth? Like, really, it's not that hard. But yeah. So there's a thing. I can't tell you how nice it is to be like, my last name's Ragsdale.
Ragsdale.
Yep. And people are like, can you spell that for me? I'm like, it's exactly like it sounds. Rags, Ragsdale. Ragsdale.
Rip Burger.
No, I got ENs in there too. Rip and Burger.
I'm sure you did. It's okay. I at work tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, this is Kyle. And they're like, hey, Tyler, how's it going?
Aaron and Mary. And Karen. I am not Karen. I really am not Karen. I am not that person. But Mary, how do you get... Oh, I like Ragsdale spelled that way. That's cool.
Moose, are you in Colorado?
You can drink.
I can't wait for eggnog season.
I can't either. I will definitely be sharing my eggnog.
Ragsdale.
That's Ragsdale. It's like Dale.
Oh, Dail. I thought there was 2 L's at the end.
Nope, you got to read that. I don't want cold weather because like fall is like.
Are you in Colorado?
Healthy Fiesta. That is. Nope, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Ever had Uncle Nearest 1856? I was not impressed.
We had some Uncle Nearest. I don't know if it was that.
Uncle Nearest is super inconsistent.
Unfortunately, because there's either really good or really bad.
Yeah, I like Aaron said, I've had some stuff that's really good from them and some stuff that's really not good from them.
Here's on that.
From what I understand, they're not super critical on buying their barrels. So
they're not Four Roses. Oh, pumpkin spice.
You know, Nick already has like cases of pumpkin spice lattes.
I actually saw the on the office table this morning.
Health and Fiesta. Cheers to you, sir.
I don't know if you saw me. I actually poured you a new glass. Talking about seasons, got any alcohols that are pumpkin spice? See, I had some, but they go pumpkin, not spice. So your better bet is to make a good pumpkin spice latte, not from the person with the woman, not from Starbucks. And then add the alcohol after. I mark the time of day. I'm going to actually say this.
Right.
Buffalo Trace makes a really good cream. And
they do.
Put that on top or add Long Branch to your coffee because it's going to give you the little like light buzz, but not
So speaking of Buffalo Trace bourbon cream, I
think ours expired.
I am pretty much out of
Sorry.
Trev. What is it? The
Sam
Irish
Adams
cream
makes the best beer. Oh my God. You're out of the Irish cream. You mean the Jameson?
Yeah, kind of.
Bailey's.
That's what it's a Costco version. But yeah, I'm almost out of that at work, so I need to replace it with some probably Buffalo Trace cream.
Are you drinking that at work without me?
Yeah. I offer you coffee all the time at work. You don't take it. That's your fault.
I didn't know you had add-ins. I mean, I know you had the hard add-ins. You didn't tell me you had Bailey's. Bailey's over ice cream. Now that's a treat. Yes. And you know what? You better hope to God that like the forces that be are, well, I can't even say that. I'm going to shut up now because they know. We have bourbon at the office.
That's not a secret.
We have lots of bourbon at the office.
Nick and I both have lots of bourbon behind our desk.
Actually, you opened the door one day with bourbon in your hand.
Probably.
On a Friday.
That's not surprising.
2 officers, I might add.
Probably.
So, anywho.
They don't mind if I drink. I'm 21.
Yep. And you're not driving at that point. Drinking at work. Yes, he's drinking at work. In fact, I don't know how many bottles are at the office.
It used to be about 100. Now it's like, I don't know, 30 or something.
You had 100 bottles at that office?
At some point. This is nothing new. You made a bet to the nation, and you were going to.
I was trash. I don't even remember that.
You were going to count them. There was like 97.
I went live on. It wasn't Facebook. It was a group. I went live in the group and was threatening when you were out of town to drink all your bottles. We had a couple Heaven Hills at that point.
Mm-hmm. You did. You found my stash of
pumpkin cupcakes with Bailey's or Buffalo Trace bourbon cream frosting. Yes. Yes, and please and thank you.
For real.
Not for play. Happy Friday. He loves shenanigans.
I make cigars. I drink at work all the time. Dude, that is awesome. I want a cigar.
Not in the house, you don't.
I'll buy it.
No, you're not smoking in the house.
I didn't say I was going to smoke in there. Where did you get in the house from?
Because we're sitting live. You're not going to walk outside. You actually have a couple cigars right there.
Cigars.
Yeah, well, that's not my fault that you bought shitty cigars.
They're not. They taste good. They're just shitty. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Speaking of which, I'm going to get some water.
Yep, go find that. Why is work trash bag so heavy? It was. Well, I totally combined two words together.
Yeah.
Not so hot. Kyle, have you ever done a bottle count? I'm at 200 plus. Kyle had a bottle count at one point. We were on a live. It was last Christmas. And he's like, well, I have probably about like.
There's no comma that I know of.
There's no comma. We aren't in the comma club yet. So there's that. But someone was nice enough to do the math on how many bottles at like $50 a bottle.
About that.
And they were lovely enough to do that. And Kyle's in the background saying that it's like Fight Club. I know exactly who it was. Shut up, asshole. He's not excommunicado. Kyle's yelling at me from the kitchen. But I think we're close to... I tell people conservatively we have probably about 600 bottles in the house. And I think that's a conservative number.
Total number altogether, probably between 7 and 8.
Kyle says between 7 and 8. There's that. So if you do $50 a bottle between 7 and 8. The
average is $23.
It is not $23, and I know that.
But you don't know that.
I do know that. I'm not stupid. You're not buying 4 roses for $23 a piece.
No, but like Jim Beam bottles are like $17 a piece.
This is my surprised face. This is my I don't care face. This is my stop lying to me face.
I don't lie. I would never lie to you.
Oh, no. We're just going to tell me that it's $23 per barrel. Anywho.
Okay, I pulled that out of my ass, in all fairness.
I guarantee you did. It's probably closer to about $45 a barrel. Because
you also know that...
I don't care.
That too.
I stopped caring when we did the math at 600 bottles. So an AJ Fernandez New World did that sounds cool. I figured it was a cigar.
So
he's
I want
averaging down, doubling down. He's hoping that he can get that number down just a little bit. You need to buy some more $6 bottles.
Maybe Freddie could help me out. I am not a cigar person. We both love the smell of cigars.
I don't smoke them because they taste like coffee. It doesn't taste the way it smells.
Like the taste of a cigar. I don't like tasting it 6 hours later. I've heard what I need is like a really light acid cigar.
You know what you need to do?
Sense?
You need to have the person next to you smoking the cigar so you drink your bourbon and you get the cigar flavor and the smell, but you can walk away and then it's gone. And it's amazing.
Steve said $23 per barrel.
Right. that I could believe per barrel.
That's some math. 23 bottle dollars.
It's monopoly money. And does it? So speaking of totally off subject, does the monopoly
says I will take 2 $23 barrels.
I don't know if I would do that because I'm scared of what's in it. But does the monopoly man have a monocle or no monocle? This is totally a mandala effect, just to let you know. Because those are the bad ones. Yes, those would be the bad ones.
Are you talking about the cigars or the barrels?
23.
Because remember, I was asking Freddie about...
That's a direct quote for me. How drunk was I? Was that on my birthday? Like that?
No, that was probably about 5 minutes ago.
That probably...
While I was getting water.
That probably would be surprising you there. You have to smoke several times a week and your palate kind of gets used to the aftertaste. You won't taste it. Okay, so if you drink coffee all the time, it's going to end up tasting good. Like... I love the smell of both of those, but God, they don't taste the way they smell.
No, like if I smoke a cigar tonight, I don't want to taste it when I wake up.
Me Peanut? You mean Mr. Peanut? The E is next to the R.
It's what makes you want the next cigar. See, but they say that about like dry wine and dry bourbon. No, I want like a nice, rich, oily bourbon. I'm drinking liquid. It shouldn't be dry. It shouldn't be dry.
Yeah, that's always no monocle. No monocle.
Monopical.
No monocle on the Monopoly, dude. Okay. There's certain words I can't say when I've been drinking. But hey, we're 2 hours in and we still got 32 people drinking with us. So that's cool.
Cheers to you, 32 people.
Yes. And it's like what time at night? Oh, it's not even midnight here. It's only not even 1 o'clock on the East
I
Coast.
do have to drive to Virginia tomorrow.
That's not my problem.
It is my problem though.
Uncle Pennybags. Yes, that's his name. It's the Monopoly
I'm
man.
gonna make it your problem.
There's that. My average price has to be $45. I have a lot of scotch as well. Some collectibles. Okay, so many bourbons, Japanese, maybe one Canadian. Sorry, Canada. Tom, there is no apologizing to Canada.
Scotch is not cheap.
It's $8.50 in Alaska. Yep. See, I miss the West Coast. To Four Roses single barrels. Yes, to total Four Roses, because that is all we have drunk tonight. And I was told Kyle, or drunk.
Or drunk.
And your little man is still sitting on your cup. So there's that. I miss King's Cup. I'm so bringing a deck of cards for...
Steve, I am not going to be around tomorrow for the Bastards Ball. Aaron might be. I am not.
I have a baseball practice and I have like...
kids. And
I really wish that we could have gone live on the Bastards Ball and just hung out and drank for the day. But unfortunately, Kyle's driving and one of us has to be a responsible adult and watch our children.
That's no fun.
So virtual La Quinta, that would have been interesting. How about drunken? Drunken is a totally technical term. Yeah, we suck. I would have gotten my mother-in-law to watch the kids so that we could have been stop hitting me. Kyle's trying to tell me to get off.
It's time to. I'm yawning and I have to drive 8 hours tomorrow morning.
See, it is totally not time to get off. It's only 9:50 in Washington.
But they are full of fire and smoke.
Yes, the whole West Coast is on fire. So I joke with people, people that are not from California. I tell people, look, there's 4 seasons in California and the West Coast. It's riot, fire, flood, and earthquake. We're just in fire season. We just got out of riot season and flood was last like January. There's a season. Earthquake is next. Hold on tight.
Hope not.
It is what it is. You know, if you live there, you just kind of get used to it. All right. So we've been live for 2 hours and 7 minutes. Kyle is super tired, the poor thing, and he's dragging me to bed. If you're around on October 2nd, I will not leave that lobby until Kyle literally picks me up and throws me over his shoulder and takes me to bed.
I damn near had to in Kentucky.
In Kentucky, you did? Well, yes. Kyle got really like harsh with me in Kentucky.
I didn't get harsh.
If you got me to put a glass down,
I said it was time to go to bed.
It takes a lot for me to listen. And
you make it sound like I beat you.
No, but you got harsh. Like there's a tone of voice you know not to pass. But you didn't do that in La Quinta, in Texas.
No, I stayed up with you till 3 a.m.
I think it was later than that. And then we were up at filming the next morning at like 7:30 or 8:30. It was crazy.
It was like 9, but still.
It felt like it. Anywho, if you are just joining us, see, look, we got more people to join us.
See, it's almost 1 a.m. in Florida. And that's where I have to go, is the East Coast tomorrow. Moose, I will.
Anywho,
so, you all appreciate
thanks for joining
us.
We will catch you next Friday.
Hey,
Central.
pay attention to the nation. Everyone who's super chatted.
I'll go live.
Winner will get a pick of any bottle here to get a sample.
So our picture last week was all the randomness we have. I may just put a list up of because I doubt he's going to go live. I'll get this done tomorrow.
Just take a picture of all the bottles.
I was actually just going to write a list because they're all 4 roses of all the recipes, and we'll get you out a sample. Richie, yes, you are late. Kyle's threatening me to make me go to bed. So with that, anyone that super chatted, yes, we will get you your bottles. I'll go live tomorrow. Make sure it happens. I got all the lists. So that way, while you're driving, you don't have to worry about that. If Kyle doesn't fall asleep on me, see, he's even yawning and it's not even having an effect on me. That's how ready I am to drink with you all. But
alcohol makes me hyper.
Yes, alcohol makes me very hyper. So if anyone wants pancakes at 6:30 in the morning and wants me to call them, message me now. You can find me on Facebook. I'm around. I'm awake. I don't go to bed. But anywho, tomorrow or next Friday, noon Central, check us out. And then again, 9:30 Fridays. That's our day.
Deuces.